Hello everybody, how are you all doing? Ali here and I am really excited about today's topic. So today we will be talking about reading and maybe you noticed that I quite like reading. So this is really perfect. There are a couple of questions I have to answer and I read that we don't need to answer them all, but come on, can you just? So let's get started. And the first question is, do you have a favorite genre? And no, I don't. I like reading different things, so I'm open to all kinds of literature. Of course, there are books that I enjoy more than others, but virtually I'm open to everything. Actually, I'm the kind of person who reads classical books, but also, well, glossy magazines, clean instructions, everything really. Are you an avid reader? I'd say so. Even though I haven't read as much as I would like to. This year has been pretty good when it comes to reading. I had a goal that I set to myself at the beginning of the year, and I am really going towards that goal. But these last months, I haven't been able to read as much as I would like to, and that's something I need to work on. Do you like reading classic literature or modern literature? I read both, but I have a penchant for the classics. It's not unusual to find me reading Shakespeare, Jane Austen, or Charles Dickens, or Dostoevsky, this kind of things. Actually, there's a shelf on my bookshelf dedicated to the classics. However, I've been trying actively to incorporate more contemporary literature because I think it's important to know what's going on on the literary world and see the portrait of our era, of our times, um, depicted in literature. So, what is your preference regarding printed books and digital books? I or and also PDFs, audiobooks. I love paper books. Actually, most of my books are paper ones. I've been trying to incorporate more digital sources. So I've been reading more ebooks lately, and there's an ebook reader over there. But it's not really it's not a habit. It's something that I can do. But when I think about a book, I automatically think about a paper book, the smell of the pages and holding it and the artwork. But for practicity, sometimes I find myself reading on an ebook reader or even on my computer or phone. And I've also started with ebooks recently. I haven't read many of them, maybe read. I haven't listened to many of them, maybe five in total, and I hadn't ever done that before this year. So mostly I read physical books, not really, I'm not that modern. What is the last book that you read? The last book I read was a book written in Portuguese by a Brazilian author called uh, Jorge Amado. And the name in Portuguese is Gabriela Cravo Canela, and I think the name in English is just a literal translation, so Gabriela Clough and Cinnamon. Do you have a favorite book? No, I don't. But I have some books that I highly esteem, and they are Hamlet and Macbeth by Shakespeare, Les Misérables from Victor Hugo, um, The Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky, and I also really like War and Peace by Leo Tolstoy. What is one book that you'd highly recommend that everyone should read? Okay, this is a good one, and I think the most important book that I have ever read is Brothers Karamazov by Dostoevsky. So This is a book I would recommend, even though I think reading Dostoevsky can be pretty tough, as they are highly psychological, but is a really interesting um, social commentary as well as a psychological analysis, and of course a brilliant story. And I think it's a book that I would highly recommend, but maybe not accessible to some people. But if there's a book that I think that everyone really should read, and it's a small one, even though it's written in English, I think that even for learners, it's quite easy to get through it. And of course, there are translations available, and it is 1984 by George Orwell. I think, especially these times, is mandatory reading. Do you have any other questions? No! What a shame, because I could talk about the subject for hours on end. Thank you very much for your patience and for your help, and I hope to see you soon.